Hi everyone, this is Cape at Cape's Corner Creation, and we're going to play in the craft room. We're going to use scraps and make some tags, so come and play with me. I have a bowl here of scrap, and we're going to start with cutting some cardstock and get right to it. So let me get my little paper cutter here. So I hope everyone's well. It was a nice day today. Weather was great. So it puts one in a good mood to craft when the weather's nice. So I'm going to make strips of 5 inches. Let's see here. 5 inches by 2.5 inches. Makes a nice size tag. Here we go. I'm going to cut 2. There we go. One for the pile. Let me cut some of these. This is the easy part. Now you can use whatever color you want. This is a like a cream color cardstock. Ivory, I guess they call it. This one. 2. 3. Probably, if we need more, we will cut more, but let's start with 3. So then the second thing we're going to do is we're going to leave one side the way it is, because that with a little inking, and then there'll be writing space on the back. But then I'd like to get 3 pieces of paper out of my scrap pile. I'm trying to use all my scraps, and that's a challenge sometimes because I make way more scraps when I work with the scraps, you know. I'm sure that happens to you too when you're like, okay, I'm going to use up this pile, and the next thing you know, that bowl does not look like we've been in it at all. There we go. Throw some more in there. I'm going to use 3 different scrap papers, colors, just for a variation so you can see. Let's see if we can get 5 inches out of here. There we go, this way. If I knew which way I was going. Nah, it's not going to work. So I need to use this side so we can get the right size we need. There we go. And then 2.5. There we go. So there's 2. And one more. I'd like to use this paper here. Oh. And the paper's torn. You forget that you have to have the straight edge up on the top here. There we go. And then one more. 2.5. Okay, so that was easy enough. We'll move this out of the way. So now you have 3 pieces of cardstock. I'll put those down here. And we have 3 pieces of paper. And all you do now is just glue them together. So that's easy. Now you can use your choice of glue. I use a craft glue. I keep it in a small bottle so that I can get my control of how much glue I use, because the bottle it comes in, the nozzle is a little bit too wide and too much glue comes out. Now hopefully these will fit good, and if they're a little off, we can trim them up. And this one is a little bit off, so we will just trim that as we go. The fine tuning, you can do it now or you can do it at the end. Okay, so there's one. And here's two. Make sure you get your edges good and be generous, but not too much, because you don't want it spilling out all over the place. As I'm here to tell you that that happens. All right, and now I had this one cut. No, I thought I had the thing on the 5, but you know, just a little bit off. But that's all right. Trimming up. Nothing has to be exact because you're making tags, and you know, it's not precise. You know, to the you know, being perfect, because you know that would be just too hard for me. I like them to look about the same, but they don't have to be to the last little bitty piece. There we go, 3 pieces there. So you have writing space on the back, and you have your paper on the front that we're going to decorate now, make our tags, and then I'll trim them up later. So that's starting with some paper and some cardstock. Now to decorate, I think I'm going to start with some old words, some old dictionary paper. You can use any kind of paper on the side, or you know, whatever you have. I happen to have these, so I'm going to use that. So I like to put it close to the edge. This paper is very brittle, so this is going to tear easily for me. I'm going to take that edge off, just because look how easily that tears. Oh my, it's very fragile. So we have to be careful putting that on there. Or it's got the words on this side. Yeah, it doesn't matter whether we go to the left or to the right. You can decide on your tag which way you want to go. So that we're going to have some paper like that. So before I go any further, I'm going to try to lift this up here. Just get an estimated idea. I think I like that coming around like that. Well, maybe I'd rather have it thicker at the bottom. Yeah, I think we'll go with that. So I'm going to take this piece off, just for easier to work with if it's not so big. And put that right there. And then up here, you know, you may have to use a scissor if you don't have paper that's this brittle, but there we go. Now, I'm going to ink the edge of this. It's already a caramel colored paper. It's very old and it's very fragile, but I like the inking on the edge. It just gives it more character, a little more age, you know. There we go. Just grab that little piece. There we go. I hope you're enjoying my videos. I'm trying to get them out on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, so that you can plan on that. I just did a bunch of new journals, and they're up on my Etsy shop. The next few tutorials will be a combination of tutorials and learning and building things and a few books here and there. There we go. Now we're going to take this little piece and we're just going to glue it right to the side there like that. Now, I do put the glue on this paper. You just have to work a little slower and careful just because the paper is so fragile. But we're going to try and get this on here without making too much of a mess on everything else. I can be messy, but this is pretty easy. There we go. And that's going to go right on here. there's a lot of layers to the little tags. You can make them, you know, very simple with just a little bit like that, or you can, you know, put multiple layers. I just need to grab a baby wipe here. I'm already sticky. Okay. I like that. I'm going to use this piece of paper here because I'd like to use these little doilies. These little paper doilies come in handy for things like this. And I'm just going to put a little bit of ink on there. Give it a little color. The very white is a little too much white. So I think I want to bring that like that, but not so much. I think I'm going to bring it down a little bit. Let's bring that smaller, just to the side. Now you can put it this way or that way. We're going to do it different ways on each one of these cards. So this is the first one. I think I like that. I'm going to trim this side though before we go any further. So just grab the cutter here. Yeah, much better. Let me get that out of the way. Here we go. And the same here. We're just going to glue that down. Just using up these little bits is can be so much fun because you kind of really sort of have a plan, but you don't know what you're going to use because you're digging through your little scrap pile. And I have different size scrap piles. I have the little bitty ones, and then I have medium size scraps, and I have larger scraps, and you know, all sizes scraps. So you can make little tags or bigger journaling cards, whatever your scrap bucket looks like. You know, we did these at 2.5 by 5, but you can make them bigger or smaller. You know, whatever your scrap pile is. Let's see now. What else are we going to put on there? I think we could use some napkin. I have some of this really pretty napkin. I don't know if I have anything in my dish here already. I don't think I have any napkins in here. No. But this piece is already torn. And I'm going to, let's see, be pretty on there. How about this? Let's try this. This little piece here with this butterfly. Now, I am going to tear some of this. You have to be careful. You want to tear this before you separate it. You know how napkins are many layers. So I'm going to tear it while it's still thick enough to hold on to without tearing too much, because I don't want to rip my little picture here. And come this way. I want to see what that looks like. I like that. Then we're going to go around this side and do the same. And then come down. See how that looks? That looks pretty. I like that. Really pretty. Okay, so now here's the hard part. We are going to first I'm going to just darken the edges while it's still together, because it's so thin that, you know, chances of my fingers getting all sticky or tearing it probably would happen. I'm safer if I do that first. And then we're going to peel this apart. If you can just grab like that. Now this only has 2 layers. Some napkins have 3 layers. Sometimes they have 2 layers of white. So your best bet is to put a little piece of Scotch tape on there and pull it, and it'll tear off. But you have to see if there's 2 layers or 1 layer. This one only has 1. Get that out of the way. So now we're going to glue this right down here. We're going to pull that over just a little bit. So again, I'm working on this, but I'm going to work now, you can use a glue stick, which is probably not a bad idea, but the glue stick that I have is a little too wet for the very thin paper. So I find, you know, I tend to tear it with that particular one. So I need to test some other glue sticks and see if I can figure out which one I can get hold of. I live out in the rural area, so there's not a lot of stores. But so far I haven't had good luck with that. But if you've had good luck with the glue stick, you could leave that in my comments. That would be great. Alright, so here we go. We're going to lay this down here. And you just go up with your finger so you don't tear it. It's very, very thin. Let me get back over here for you. It's very thin. Now once you've got it on there, I'll wipe my hands off. Look how pretty that is. Then I'm going to take my ruler or your bone here and just press it lightly, because like I said, that will tear. There we go. And it'll dry. It'll be very nice. Okay, so there we go. Now I'm going to round the corners. I like to have that round corners on the top. Let me see if I can. There we go. I didn't have all the tools out and ready, so there. And over here. Very nice. And then, oops, stuck to myself over here. Now I'm going to take the back of this tag and ink the edges as well. And then we'll add a ribbon or something to the top. That'll be nice. I've been busy trying to do some yard work, which, you know, is not easy to do with my predicament. So I tried to do some, and I didn't have much luck. But I did get a little bit done. I like to putter in the yard. I am either sitting on a chair or something, because I can't do that standing up, but it does feel good to be outside and working in the yard. It gives me ideas like this, seeing I still have a blooming butterfly bush out in the yard, and you know, up until very few days ago, I had still hummingbirds everywhere. They seem to be migrating now. You only see a couple here and there, but it does give me more ideas being outside. I even have some, the top of my lilac has budded and bloomed, and it's like, what is going on here? But it'll come back again in the spring. And there we go. Let's put a hole there, and we'll put something on there to top of that. It's just a little hole punch thing here. There we go. Now, because we have this 2 layers, it's pretty thick, so we don't need to secure that with, you know, one of those little rings. You know, it's not really necessary, depending on how thick your paper is. Let's see what we have for that. Let's see, we have a drawer of plenty here. I have a drawer full of ribbons, as when my little ones, my little granddaughters, there's 5 of them, were small. I used to make them hair bows, so I have all this ribbon. So I'm like, I think I'm enjoying the ribbon to use on my tags. Here's a new one. Let me see if I can get this open. I need a different scissor. There we go. I need the little ones. Oh my goodness, right? I know this is how I create sometimes. I don't know the plan, so you just work as you go. Create as you go. That is my probably best way doing it. I don't normally have big plans, maybe an idea, but not the complete, process. And I don't know if I like that brown ribbon. I think I'll try something else. And this is what happens. You try one and then you go for something. I think I'm going to go for lace, actually. Let me just grab that. Let's see here. This is really pretty. Looks like flowers. I just went recently, and I think it was I wound up getting lace at the Hobby Lobby. They had their half price sale, which was great because I don't normally get out very often, so happened to come across it. Was a good thing to get that. There, that's better. I like that. Now, quick and easy, I usually just staple that because it's just easy. But this one is pretty thick, and I think I'm going to glue it just because I think it would be better all around. Let me see if I can find my Fabrifix, because that glue holds a little bit tighter. Oops, sorry about that. If I could find it. Oh, here we go. Again, I keep it in the small bottle because of the control of the glue. If I can get this to work now. Oh my goodness. That's the thing with the glue, is it has it gets stuck here. Let me push that up. There we go. Push that out of there. I try and work on these bottles every day to make sure they don't stick together, but sometimes they have a mind of their own. I just have to wait till this comes down. It's not a full bottle here, so I need to refill it. It's coming, I promise. There we go. So I'm going to put it on the back side, on the lace on the back. I'm going to put it on the top of the tag on the card and on the first little piece there, so that when you push them up together, they're going to catch each other, and just press that and it'll catch in no time. This glue is, of course, made for that. Fabric to fabric, paper to paper, paper to fabric, and many more things I've found out. So there we go. How pretty is that? And that's just 3 pieces of paper and a little piece of ribbon. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, actually 5, because we have the little doily, the little piece of napkin, we have some dictionary paper, we have some scrapbooking paper, and we have our cardstock. So actually that's 5 layers, but how quick and easy and how beautiful is that? So let's make another one. I have this one here that's map paper. It's a map of somewhere, I don't know. But anyway, we're going to go with that one. And again, we're going to try and do the same thing, only placing our papers in different places so we can make them a little bit different. Need a bigger piece of paper. Let's see what we got here in the scrap bowl. I tell you, I build this scrap bowl every day. Here, kind of like this, and this is out of a craft book, probably one of my crochet books that I've had for years. And even though the printing is going this way, I'm still going to use it this way because I just like the print on here. It's not important that you can actually read this, but because we're going to be covering up most of it, we're going to do that. And again, trying to figure out which way. I think we'll go this way this time. Well, I kind of like that. Well, I think I'm just going to make it thinner. Let's see how that looks. There we go. I like that little star right there. So we're going to just do just like that. How's that? It's good, right? I know sometimes I talk to myself here and to all of you, but it feels weird sometimes because, you know, I'm sitting here alone and talking away, hoping somebody's having a good time, you know, to just play away here. It's so therapeutic too, you know, with everything that everyone's going through right now. I know for myself it's been a little difficult. Certain things have been harder than others with this pandemic. So, you know, therapy comes in many forms. Crafting, reading, you know, being outside. There's a lot you can do at home. I'm used to being at home, so that part isn't hard. But it's the, you know, like going to the stores, which I don't normally do very often because some of us are more compromised than others, so you have to be careful. You know, and some, you know, some people find it very difficult, those who've been very active and out there in the world, and all of a sudden they're home. I've always worked at home, so that part isn't too bad, but it's the going out to the shopping that's a little bit harder for me. I need to change glues here, as you see. This one flows much easier. This is the craft glue that I work with. It's very similar to the Fabrifix. The Fabrifix is a little thicker, and this one's a little bit thinner, so it does come quicker. I want that piece to show, so I'm just going to push this up a little. If I can get it before it sticks. There we go. Very nice. Alright, so when I'm chatting away here, just trim that. And we'll trim this side. There we go. Alright, now, this is a map. Let's see about what picture we're going to do here. Sorry for the banging. I had to move a couple things there. I'll leave this one over here. Come back down and screen. That would be good, right? Oh my goodness. Let's see. We use a napkin. I think. Let's see what we could do. Maybe some washi tape on that side. Let me grab a piece of that. It's using up all your supplies, you know. Let's see, what do we have for colors here today? Maybe a little flower on there might be pretty. Oh my goodness. So many decisions, right? I don't want a lot of color, but I wish I want a little something. Maybe some leaves. That might be pretty. Or some green with some pink. No, I don't think so. Oh my, oh my. Well, maybe this green. Maybe just a little bit of green. Once we have some red. I think I'm going to go with the red because it'll go with the lines on the map. So there we go. I'm going to go with that. Alright then. So let's see here. You gotta use up your washi tape. I know if you're like me, you have more than you need. I'm just going to stick that right there. It is, you know, easy to work with though. Alright, there. And that looks nice. Now we need something to put on there. Oh, you know what else we need to put on this one? A word or something, but we'll come back to that. Let's finish this one. And I have some cutouts here. Let me see if I have anything in here. I had a piece earlier on my desk here. Could be in the other bucket. Oh, here it is. It's a strip of birds. No, don't like that. I have to get the full sheet. Alright. It's my little collection that I've been working on. I'm going to go with this one. Be careful tearing. I like the torn look because when you put the ink on there, it just looks so nice. I'm not one for, you know, everything straight away lines. I like some movement in the paper. Take that white line out of there. There we go. Alright, and then I'm going to ink the edges on this. This is a quick way to do that. Just go round and round, little circles. There we go. I like that. But I want to put him, I'm going to take more of this off. Just because I like the way he's sitting on the branch. So I'm just going to tilt him up a little bit. Tilt away here. There. Right like that. There we go. I'm sure you'd be digging through your pile of scraps and looking for ideas. It's so fun to create as you go. Because sometimes those are the ones that come out the best. I'm trying to get that branch straight. There we are. Very cute. He's looking very cute, isn't he? Or she. Probably a he, because he has some color on his back. Those male birds are so gorgeous in the summertime. Alright, so now I'd like a word. That's what we're going to do here. Let's see if I got a word in this bucket. Because I planned on using this bucket, and then, you know, I should have picked the other bucket. What do we have here? There must be a word in here. I'm just going to dump this out. Sometimes the littlest thing shows up. And you didn't plan it, but it just happens that way. Let's see. Look at me with my arm across your view here. Oh my goodness. Well, I don't seem to have words in this pile. Well, now we have to get ourselves some words. Let's see. Oh, here we go. I have the itty bitty pile of things. That's where they are. You know, I was cleaning this place the other day, and oh my goodness, I had to start organizing because there are so many things that get. Now you wouldn't think you'd save a piece of paper like this, but oh yes, this is precious paper. So we do hold on to those. Here is a great little verse, word, sentence for this resting bird that's sitting on this limb, and this says, let yourself rest. And boy, isn't that the truth? If you don't get yourself a good rest, you won't be productive. I know that for me. There we go. And just some little glue on there. For this one, I want to put the words in the bottom. Let yourself rest. There we go. Oop. Knocking things down. I spend my day dropping things and knocking them down. It's like, could I be any more clumsy? I swear. It's almost to the point where it's comical because, you know, I can't get frustrated. It is what it is. But sometimes it's just enough already with the knocking things down. And we're going to round the corners again. We're going to put a little punch in there to make that little hole for our ribbon. Okay. And what ribbon will we use? Let's see. If I have a green, that'd be pretty. Let's see here. Might be a little too shiny, but I know sometimes decisions, you know. That's a little bright. I don't know about that. Oh, I like this. Let me get this one open. Yeah, I have a new stash of ribbons and lace. I don't get, like I said, I don't get out very often, and so it was nice to come across a sale. 50% off ribbon, and that's exciting. I only have, you know, 2 little drawers of ribbons. I know that sounds like a lot, but really it's not. It's not really a lot when you don't have this particular color or that particular color. It's like, oh boy. But you work with what you have, and that's what's nice about junk journaling is you don't need a lot. You can just keep on working, and you will create. I like this nice little ribbon. It's pretty green. It's got a nice color. It's a little fat for this, but I think it's going to be really pretty. And we're going to cut that. And I'm going to trim the edges. Finishing edge there, just something that make it a little character. And this one I will staple because there's plenty of room, and I think it'll hold it better. And oh, I was telling you, I was cleaning my drawers, and oh my goodness, now I'm trying to find everything again. It looks great, but I'm still not used to where things are. There we go. How pretty is that? Now this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 layers on a ribbon, counting the washi tape. Let's move this stuff out the way. There we go. See, you get messy very quickly with this craft, but you know, all in good fun. You know, you have to love it. Let me just move some of this so we can see what we've got here. Well, you get the idea. I mean, we were going to do 3, but I think 2 is good so that you get the idea of how this goes and using scraps. And you don't need a lot because they're tiny. You know, 2.5 by 5. You got your cardstock, you got your base, and your paper on the front side. And your cardstock on the back side. Let me ink this for you. There we go. And just go all the way around. There we are. So you have writing space on the back sides. You have these beautiful little tags on the front side, and you could make so many in such a short time. and you're using up your scraps, and you're making more scraps, but you're using up your scraps. But then you'll have more for the next time. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial today to making tags and using up scraps and napkins and different textures of paper. The joy is in creating with what you have. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. You can, comment below and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I really appreciate that. And you can look at me up on Etsy with the same name, Capes Corner Creation. And thank you so much for joining me today. I really enjoy my time here. So I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.